Welcome to week 2 of Pokemay. Every day of the month May, I make a brand new fake one inspired by one of the nations of the world, with Gary the Motham. This week I get another lucky 7 to add to my streak. As well as some, stretching of the rules, shall I say. So without further ado, let's jump into the first design of May 6th. China! Day 6 of Pokemay. Quite a shame I didn't start this challenge a year earlier, because 2024 was the year of the dragon. You guys know what the Chinese zodiac is, right? Come on, you're Pokemon fans. The Chinese zodiac is a cycle of 12 animals, real or mythical, that represent a year. For the longest time, people were clamoring to this idea for it being the way they picked the brand new fire-type starters each generation. However, Quacoco, and truthfully Cyndaquil already, it's not a rat, shattered this widely believed theory. Now everyone makes fun of it, even though I do think it was quite a fun idea. If I'm making a Pokemon on China, I have no other choice than going with a dragon Pokemon, based on Chinese New Year, and the Year of the Dragon. It's such a fun inspiration, and it gave me the opportunity to finally draw one of the most requested unused type combinations in the series. Bug Dragon. I mixed in elements of caterpillars, based on how these dragon-like costumes they use in New Year's parades are segmented, similarly to caterpillars. I'm pretty proud of this connection. I think the design itself is a bit unbalanced, however. The head feels way too developed compared to the body. You could say it feels like that with the costumes too, but I don't feel like it connects well to the rest of the body. Quite a shame, because everything else about this guy is super fun. This is Maolong, from the Chinese word Maochong, meaning caterpillar, and the Chinese word long, meaning dragon.
Maolong, the Dragon Pupa Pokemon. A bug and dragon type. They are very rare. An old myth claims that at the end of the 12th year of its life, this Pokemon will change into a mighty beast of legends. It has the ability Intimidate and the hidden ability Dragon's Maw.
For the first dragon bug type, this guy seems quite fun. Feels like it could serve as the baby pseudo-legendary of a Chinese region. If you guys ever want me to make evolutions or pre-evolutions to any of these Pokemon, just let me know in the comments, because I think some of these could be really fun to iterate on. Hello mates, I'm a bloody Aussie bloke, crikey. That was terrible. Day 7 of Pokemay was quite clearly Australia, the land down under. And of course, I made the most fresh, unique and never before seen Pokemon for an Australian region. A fighting type kangaroo. No one has ever thought of that, I'm so clever. Jokes aside, I think I did have a pretty unique take on the idea, by mixing the kangaroo with a sport that's very popular in Australia. Cricket! This is a sport that has befuddled me for the longest time. It's not popular here, so I have no clue what it's about. But from what I gather, it's like baseball, but with a weird paddle instead of a bat. This paddle was perfect for the kangaroo's tail. You see, the kangaroo is quite a unique creature for many reasons. And the pouch is not one of those. The real cool thing about them is that their tail is basically a third foot. They use it as a balance while jumping. And as a third leg, this tail is very strong and muscled, so it translates perfectly into a bat, that it uses to dunk on its own child. Let's go! Pokemon that throw their own children is my favorite gender. I worked with a very monotone color palette. I usually use a couple different contrasting colors, but for this one I wanted to challenge myself and get a few colors that are very close in hue. Like red and orange. The only accent color that I used was a contrasting blue for the eye. Its face and hands take inspiration from protective attire used in cricket. and its name is Crickaroo, from kangaroo and cricket. It also sounds super Aussie. Crikey, it's Crickaroo!
Crickaroo, the kangaroo Pokemon. A fighting type. As long as people have lived in this region, they have been challenging Crickaroo to Crickaroo matches. Fun ball games inspired by their mating behavior in the wild. It has the abilities Ball Fetch, Iron Fist, and the hidden ability Defiance.
Okay, I'm turning the video back right side up now. The blood was getting to my head. I'm getting a little sick here. Day 8 of Pokemay was Korea. And for this one, I decided to go with a Pokemon inspired by K-pop and frogs. Who, fun fact, can sing better than the average YouTube musician. That way I could also bring back an old favorite of mine. The music type! I have an old 2-part video series about why I think the music type should be in Pokemon. So if you wanna know more about this, go check it out. This Pokemon is, very charming. I really like what I did with the eyes. If you squint, damn it, man! I can't pretend to like this one. Sorry, Korea, but I really goofed this one up. I struggled with this design a lot, especially in the concept and sketching phase, and because of the heavy time constraints, as well as just exhaustion from the rest of my life catching up on me, this Pokemon turned out very lackluster in my eyes. I think there's a couple elements I do like about it. I gave it these water bubble throat sacs, like what many frogs have to croak with. And the red accents on its fingers and eyes also give it some subtle color variations that I like. And they look like a bit of eyeshadow and nail polish. But I think I messed up the proportions mainly. I was trying to go for the awkward middle stage Pokemon, and I think I succeeded on that a bit too hard. This is Pople, from Popping, Bubbles, and K-pop.
Pople, the pop Pokemon. A water music type. The beautiful songs they sing to attract mates are regarded as an iconic aspect of a certain region's landscapes. It has the abilities Liquid Voice, Soundproof, and the hidden ability Swift Swim.
You know what? No, I can do better than this. I can do way better than this. You know what? I didn't want to do this, but they left me no choice. I'm disowning Pople. That's way better. Maybe I'll redesign this guy sometime, when I have time. On day 9 of Pokemay, I was determined to redeem myself. And with the prompt Egypt, I knew I had the chance to make a very insane and cool Pokemon. I feel like something I do a bit too often is make my Pokemon look like animals. Many Pokemon are, of course, animals. But with me it's a problem. I sometimes find it too difficult to come up with a non-animal-like design. So I went a little wonky with the Egypt guy. I decided to make a pyramid Pokemon. Because, you know, of course it's Egypt. But I mixed that with an alien and flying saucers inspiration. Yes, the aliens did build the pyramids. To serve as giant nests for them to sleep on, so they can take over the world in the year of our Lord and Savior 2032. I wanted a really strange body plan with this one. The bulky tip of a pyramid on top, with wobbly spaghetti legs on the bottom. This way it could feel a bit weird, alien and unbalanced. And these tentacle legs coming from a hole on the bottom of this pyramid are sort of a reference to those light beams from flying saucers that are specifically designed to pull in cows and cows only. I put a lot of effort into the shaping and the volume of this Pokemon. That's basically a weird way of saying I tried to make it look 3D. Implying volume is very important for a geometric design like this one. It was also very necessary with the obelisk arms I gave it. This one turned out really cool, and I'm much prouder of this design.
Greetings, Earthlings! Bow down to your new overlord! Pyraterra from Pyramids and Terra. Another name for Earth.
Pyraterra, the conspiracy Pokemon. A ground and psychic type. Pyraterra will build enormous nests that dominate the landscape around them. They nestle themselves at the top of these, where they're safe and have a good view. It has the abilities Wonder Guard, Magic Guard, and hidden ability Levitate.
Pyraterra is really cool. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go to the meat factory to be harvested and processed into a human meat burrito by our brand new overlord Pyraterra. Larry? Surprise? Were you controlling Pyraterra this entire time? Whoops, gotta go! I have to water my rocks. Farewell, everybody! Remember to dislike and unsubscribe. Bye! No, you get back here. You are going to Brazil! No! Pokemay Day 10 was on Brazil. This is probably one of the most requested Pokemon regions in the fandom. For this prompt, I repurposed a really fun idea I had ages ago. A colorful parrot Pokemon inspired by Carnival. This idea is actually really old already. It was originally a submission for the Maza region contest. I'm sure many of you will know what the Maza region is, right? I can't be that old, right? The Maza region contest was a Fakemon art contest for the biggest fan-made Pokemon region. The Maza region. You know, the whole inspiration for the Hummusum region and my channel in the first place. Yeah, that contest, and also this design, is already over 2 years old. Like, old enough to use the potty. I mixed many common birds of paradise together with the iconic Ara parrots to get this colorful Carnival-inspired design. Carnival is, of course, the most iconic festival of Brazil, together with their many colorful birds. This Pokemon's wings will have loose feathers, which it can scatter around like confetti. This way it can get a new move, Confetti Bomb. A priority special flying type move that switches the user's Pokemon, like U-turn. Paramora is the original Gary Pokemon in my eyes, because I gave this thing 12 different color variants, not including the shiny. Yes, 12! This was to reference the many different vibrant species of Era and parrots there are. I love how colorful this Pokemon ended up being. It puts me in a good mood just seeing it. Say hello to Paramora! From Parrot, Ara, Para, and Amor. Spanish for love. It also gets a feminine A as a suffix.
Paramora, the confetti Pokemon. A flying psychic type. Paramora live deep in the jungle where there are hundreds of differently colored variants. Every week, scientists discover a new color pattern. It has the abilities Big Pecs, Dancer, and the hidden ability Aerolates.
This one is a really fun bird. Here's all of the different variants. They all have fruit-inspired names as well. Day 11 of Pokemay was for New Zealand. And for this one I decided to create a Kiwi. You know, a kiwi that's also a kiwi? Yeah, you know, Kiwi. A kiwi bird and a kiwi fruit. Yes. Well, there's more to New Zealand than just kiwis, I know that. But sometimes you just have to pick the low-hanging fruits. Just like that joke. I finished this one pretty quickly actually, because of how simple the idea and the design were. I didn't need to do much fine-tuning. I made it a half circle, to give it a unique shape not often seen in Pokemon. This way, its face could also be the most striking part of the design, the green insides of the fruits. The rest of the design get to be nice and fluffy. I used these tufts of feathers to give it a more unique silhouette and mimic things like wings, which kiwis don't seem to have. Do kiwis have wings actually? Apparently they have very small ones. Oh, that's cute. I used the seed of a kiwi to give it some cuteness factor, with these small freckles on its face. It looks adorable, I wanna squish it. I don't have a lot to say about it. Sometimes you just want to draw a simple and cute little guy, you know? Say hello to Kiwik. From Kiwi, 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 Kiwi forwards and Kiwi backwards. Which is Iwik.
Kiwik, the Kiwi Pokemon. A grass type. Kiwik live in the underbrush of the forests where they live quiet and solitary lives. Sadly, their numbers have started to dwindle lately. It has the ability Unaware.
This simple, quick design could maybe work as some kind of starter for a New Zealand region in my mind. It wasn't my intention, honestly, so I can't quite check it off the list just yet. But if this were the grass type starter of a trio, I don't think anyone would be complaining. The final day of this week, day 12 of Pokemay, was on my home country of Belgium. I know this video is quite late. I got caught up in a lot of business with school and internship and work and stuff. But to keep this video from being too much work to make, I'll have day 12 be the last one. Belgium is where I live, and also one of the inspirations behind my own Fakemon region, the Hummusum region. So this entry will once again be for Hummusum. With this Pokemon, I wanted to make one that can fit both parts of Belgium. Flanders and Wallonia, as well as a bit of the Netherlands too, for good luck. So I took inspiration from lions. Lions do not live in Belgium, luckily. But regardless of that, the lion is still the national symbol of Flanders and the Netherlands. This Dutch lion comes from the old Burgundian flag. They used to rule the lowlands, and so a lot of their imagery and culture still persists to this very day. So that's the Flemish inspiration. What's the Walloon inspiration then? Well, Napoleon. Okay, he's French, not Walloon, but we all know what happened to him at Waterloo, right? Waterloo, a city in Wallonia, is famous for being Napoleon's final battle, where he was defeated for the last time. In the city of Waterloo, there is this iconic statue of a lion on top of a hill. This is a Wallonian part of the design. I wanted this Pokemon to be the cool fur-bait icon of the region, similar to Lucario and Zoroark. It's a niche I don't really have yet, except for Territact, but it's less cool and more silly and wacky. I wanted this design to have presence and power! And I also made it entirely black, except for a few red outlines. This makes its design very striking and imposing. It turned out to be one of my favorite designs I've ever made, actually. I think I really got across the power and might of this Pokemon, and the slender Dutch lion-like body shape gives it a fun silhouette, with the furry fury mane forming the shape of a crown of wreaths, and the tail transitioning into a flame. Very striking, very cool. Bow down to your Emperor, Leolord! From Leo, the Latin word for lion, and Lord.
Leolord, the Emperor Pokemon. A firefighting type. It is a symbol of power in the Hummusum region. Long ago, it was the Pokemon of the general who defeated the Kalosian Emperor in battle and liberated the region from foreign rule. Leolord is the national symbol of the region. They are respected for their strength, bravery, and loyalty in battle. They are also very prideful and won't listen to anyone they deem beneath them. Its location is unknown. It has the abilities Moxie, Supreme Overlord, and the hidden ability Adaptability.
This Pokemon would also get a pre-evolution, but I don't yet have a design for that. So for now I'll just fill the Pokedex like how I filled the definitely coming one day, totally not a ruse, I swear, evolution to Shrum. Well, that was another fun episode on Pokemay. Sorry that it got delayed so badly. I got all twisted up with school and other responsibilities, but I should be back on track until I have exams in a few weeks. So let's hope those go well. If you want to see these Pokemon designs in the moment I finish them, you can check out my Instagram, Gary the Motham. I post all my designs for Pokemay on there. And if this little experiment goes well, I'll continue posting all of my Pokemon Orange design there as well. So check it out, and have another wonderful day! I've been Gary the Motham. Gotta catch me later! Hello? Hello? I'm lost in the Amazon rainforest. Can someone help me? Please? Oh no.